Hello everyone, today is Tuesday, February 25th, and this week we're playing Two Truths and a Lie. Now, I was not familiar with this game. I've never played it before, but it looks a lot like that old show, Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. That was a pretty awesome show. So, here are 3 stories, 2 of which are true, and 1 which is not. When I was in 7th grade, I was being homeschooled, and at the time, we were living in a big house with a lot of people. But on this particular day, everyone else was gone, except for me, my dad, and my sister. But my dad and sister were asleep in different parts of the house, and I was the only one awake. Then, at some point in the morning hours, I got up and was walking to the kitchen, when, for some reason, I just lost consciousness and fell over onto the concrete floor. And I was there for some hours before I was found. When I came to, everyone was in a panic, and the ambulance was there, and I didn't remember who I was, or where I was, or what had happened. And later in the hospital, my memory started to return, but the doctors never found a reason for me losing consciousness. And to this day, I have no idea why that happened. When I was in 12th grade, about halfway through my senior year, I was skateboarding on a road near my house when I fell and broke my hand. It was the first time I had ever broken a bone, and the doctors said this was a very rare bone to break. And they said it was a very bad bone to break. They said it would take an extra long time to heal. Now, they said I would have to wear a cast for at least 6 months, and after that I would probably need surgery. So I wore the cast. Then after a month I went back in for a checkup, and they took an x-ray of my hand with the cast on, but they couldn't find any sign of the fracture. So they had to take the cast off, and they did another x-ray. And still there was no sign of the fracture, and now my hand was moving just fine. So the only possible explanations that the doctors had was that it was either a miraculous recovery or the bone was never broken to begin with. Either way, I would have liked a simple straight answer, but my hand never bothered me again, and to this day I have no idea what actually happened. When I was in 9th grade, I started going to high school at Alpena. And at that time, my dad had to take up truck driving. And so in the summer after 9th grade, I took the opportunity to ride out to the East Coast and see some sights. We took a drive down into Florida, and we passed through a city. I don't remember the name of it. It's been 10 years. And we spent quite a bit of the afternoon parked at a warehouse, getting loaded and unloaded. And while I was sitting there was kind of it was in this small part of town, and there were some stores just down the street, and on the sidewalk outside the store was someone dressed in a kind of dinosaur costume. Now, I wasn't as familiar with Godzilla then, but I was pretty sure that it was a Godzilla costume. I can't say for sure now. But I like to think it was Godzilla. I was pretty excited to see it, and we were still quite a ways from the ocean, but I kept thinking of how awesome and hilarious it would be if I could have actually seen this Godzilla on the beach. Anyway, I was pretty excited just to see a Godzilla there on the sidewalk, and I didn't think about it until later that night, but I don't remember the day being particularly hot, but this was in Florida in the summer, and this dinosaur didn't have a sign or anything. He was kind of standing around on the sidewalk. I don't think he was promoting anything. I think it was a JCPenney that he was standing in front of. I don't know for sure. But, yeah. There was someone in a full dinosaur costume in Florida in the summer, not advertising anything. Just kind of standing there on the sidewalk. I'm sure it must have been far too hot to just stand around in a Godzilla suit for no reason. Maybe it's just my OCD, but I have always wanted to know the reason. And those are my 3 stories. As you can gather, I don't really like when things go unanswered, but I'm not sure whether we're supposed to answer these or not, so I guess you're going to have to go with something unanswered. 2 of those, I can assure you, were completely true, and 1 of those, I can assure you, was completely false. So, thank you for watching. I look forward to what everyone else has in store, and come back next time.